years now. This is the first ever time that we've done a public demo of our software, and we have something very exciting to share with you that has not been seen by anyone so far, except our dev team. And before we get started, I'd like to talk a little bit about what we're doing at VeriBlock and how we fit into the ecosystem. So very quickly, we at VeriBlock have invented a new consensus protocol called Proof of Proof. And Proof of Proof is a consensus protocol, the first of its kind, which allows any blockchain in the world to inherit the full proof-of-work security of the Bitcoin blockchain in an entirely decentralized, trustless, transparent, and permissionless way. There's two components to what we do. Proof of Proof is the first, and the second component is something called the VeriBlock blockchain. So instead of just proof-of-proofing to Bitcoin and inheriting Bitcoin security, we've gone a level deeper and developed even more technology that allows people to do it in the easiest, most secure, and cost-effective way. So I'm going to talk quickly about how it works, show you a live demo of the software, and that'll be it. If you have any more questions, we would love to answer them over at our booth, over down to your right in the corner. So quickly, Proof of Proof is a way for any blockchain to inherit the security of a higher security proof-of-work blockchain. So very quick illustration here. We have a very secure proof-of-work blockchain like Bitcoin, for example, and we have another blockchain that wants to inherit Bitcoin's security. And so we introduced a new form of mining called proof-of-proof mining. There's a little proof-of-proof miner who takes data regarding the security inheriting blockchain's current state, sort of like a fingerprint. They publish it to the highly secure proof-of-work blockchain like Bitcoin. They wait for it to get confirmed in the blockchain. Then they construct a proof that that has occurred, that the fingerprint of the security inheriting blockchain is in Bitcoin. And they return that back to the security inheriting blockchain. And it's not just one person who does this, it's a group of proof-of-proof miners who are completely decentralized, trustless, transparent, and permissionless. Anyone can join and become a proof-of-proof miner, anyone can leave. It doesn't rely on any federated or centralized third parties. It is entirely within the same ethos that made Bitcoin what it is today, and that block secure. So proof-of-proof wasn't just enough, we also invented the VeriBlock blockchain. So on the left you can see if VeriBlock didn't exist, we'd have, without VeriBlock, every blockchain could go directly to Bitcoin. And we know that Bitcoin transactions are very expensive, it's very hard to get in that prime real estate in the Bitcoin block, and it's also on a 10-minute time schedule. And you're also limited to a very small amount of data you can put on Bitcoin when you do a transaction, about 80 bytes. And so we developed the VeriBlock blockchain that sits in the middle as an aggregation layer. And so all chains can do more proof-of-proof transactions to the VeriBlock blockchain, meaning that their own proof-of-proof mining is more decentralized than it would be without VeriBlock. And we also offer additional benefits to blockchains inheriting us, such as early attack detection for exchanges and merchants. So exchanges and merchants and even regular users know how secure transactions are at any point in time and whether they need to wait for more confirmations to avoid any sort of fraud. Also additional layer of proof-of-work security from the VeriBlock blockchain itself, meaning that if you were to attack this blockchain, if you were to try to change the history on a blockchain, you would also need to attack VeriBlock as well as the alt-chain and Bitcoin. And we also have a large network of proof-of-proof miners who are ready to go and hit the ground running, securing your blockchain on launch day, or whenever you adopt the technology. And so I'll bring this slide up later, but if you want to get involved, we do have a website. Our community site is veriblock.org. We also have a Twitter and an email. So I'd like to quickly do a tech demonstration of how this works and how easy it is for someone to go and do proof-of-proof mining. What we're going to show today is proof-of-proof mining to secure the VeriBlock network up to Bitcoin. So we're just going to launch our software is called Node Core. That's our kind of Bitcoin core comparison. It's the software that runs the blockchain itself. So we're just going to start that up and let it sync to the network. We're also going to start up our CLI. The CLI is the command line interface that allows us to interact with the blockchain, sort of like Bitcoin D or a console version of Bitcoin Qt. So we'll start that up real quick and connect to Node Core. And we'll see what the current state of the network is. Everything's looking good. And then finally, we're going to very quickly go back to our proof-of-proof mining software, and we're going to start that up. And that's going to take a few seconds to start up. It's going to download the Bitcoin blockchain. It's going to sync to the Bitcoin network. And then it's going to give us a Bitcoin address where we can deposit our Bitcoin, which are used sort of as mining rigs in this case, where you spend Bitcoin to publish the state of a blockchain like VeriBlock on the Bitcoin blockchain. You pay that transaction fee. And once you've done that, you are now secured to the Bitcoin network. So we're going to just quickly copy this Bitcoin address here. This is all on testnet Bitcoin because VeriBlock is also in testnet, and we don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars a day just to make sure our software works. We're going to enter some small amount of Bitcoin to send over, enough to do a few proof-of-proof transactions. We're going to send it to the Bitcoin network. And almost immediately, our proof-of-proof mining software detects that it now has Bitcoin in its wallet that we can use to secure VeriBlock to the Bitcoin blockchain. Type in a simple command, mine, and all of a sudden what it's done is it's taken the current state of fingerprint of the VeriBlock blockchain, basically the VeriBlock blockchain's last block header, some sort of identifying fingerprint data. It's constructed a Bitcoin transaction that embeds that data inside of it. It's published that transaction up to the Bitcoin network, and right now what it's doing is waiting, and we're not going to wait for it, we don't have time, but it's waiting to see that the Bitcoin blockchain has confirmed our transaction, that it is solidified by Bitcoin proof-of-work miners, at which point it would construct a proof that that has occurred, it would bring it back to the VeriBlock network, and if in the future anyone ever attempted to reverse or undo the consensus of the VeriBlock network, they tried to fork the network, they tried to propose an alternative history or perform a double spend, it would detect that and be able to reference its previous state on Bitcoin to avoid being attacked. That's about it for the very quick tech demo of VeriBlock. Thanks everyone for watching during your lunch. If you have any more questions, we do have a booth over there to look at and ask questions, and also my co-founder and CEO, Justin Fisher, is presenting upstairs during the cryptocurrency track at 2:10 on a panel. Thank you.